Mic check 1 2 1 2. What it do? It's the Real Boss TVA 15. Man, y'all do me a favor, man. Right under this video, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification so y'all get the drop when I drop. Let's go. Now, this Kenneka Jenkins case has never stopped as far as I can see it. Nobody has stopped talking about this case. Everybody still feels like we've been bamboozled, right? Now, me, I've been J4K for a long time, and I never really stopped thinking about the case. So I was at a little business meeting, and I got to talking to a private investigator. Now, it wasn't about this case, but it was about some other things, and I had got his information. So we was talking a little bit about this other case, and somehow we got to talking about Kenneka Jenkins case. You feel me? And I got straight to the point. I asked him. I was like, man, if you've been doing this for 20 years, like, how do you feel about the case? And what surprised me is he actually knew a lot about this case. You know what I mean? And he pointed out some good things that he said he took a look at. And I just think y'all need to hear this, man. So y'all go ahead, check this out. Let me know how y'all feel about this, man. If you J4K, man, y'all go ahead, like and subscribe. Let's go. All right, so here's what he had to say. I'm gonna read it out for you. And I asked him personally, like, how did he feel? He said, personally, based on everything that's known, yes, I think there was foul play because the freezers was deep in an unused kitchen under construction. How would a drunk girl with no clear sense of direction find that? No direct footage shows her entering the freezer, even though the hotel had surveillance almost everywhere else. The family had to push their own search. It's another good point. Then he mentioned something about the live stream from the party. I guess he's seen that. And he says hotel staff were slow to act and never fully explained why the freezer was on. Now, the freezer was in a location guests should not have access to. And this is another good point that he pointed out right here. There's no footage showing hotel employees checking the freezer until well after she was found. Now, that raises questions. I'm going to say that one more time. There's no footage showing hotel employees checking the freezer until well after she was found. Was it turned on intentionally? Remember, the statement from that dude that went up there the next day that works the morning shift, he said the reason why he went in that kitchen and was scratching his head because he couldn't figure out why the freezer was on. So that lets us know that the freezer must not have been on the day before and none of the times that he'd be in there. Then right here, I think he's talking about the friends, saying like, their story shifted several times. Some of them didn't show too much concern, joking and partying while she was still missing. And then another thing that I didn't ever know about is one friend even tried to sue after being accused online. And then he just goes to say Rosemont police closed the case just way too quickly. No criminal charges, no deeper investigation. And the reason why he's pointing these things out because, he's a private investigator, so there's a lot of things that they use to raise suspicion, So when he says that there was no further investigation out of all these red flags, he said any investigator would be looking into this case as foul play. And he also did say something to me about, he didn't really want to get in too deep about like what could have happened, but he said no matter what, it was definitely covered up. I mean, that's why you see all these red flags with the camera footage. Then you seen like 7 minutes of footage that's just a black screen when she was last seen even walking towards the back. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't make any sense. And that's why to this day that people still talking about this case, man. Like I feel like this is gonna be one of them cases that years and years and years down the line, stuff is gonna come out. You know, there's gonna be things that surface, but you know, I guess that's why we J4K, because we know we're gonna find out eventually. It's gonna come out, just like all cases do. Most cases that's like this, the truth normally comes out. And me, I feel like this is more so a cold case, man. You know, even though they settle with the negligence, it just don't make any sense. If she was that messed up, how could she even get up there? Not even a sober person would be able to find their way up there. It's hidden. So you know she had to have some help. You know what I mean? And one last thing I do want to talk about is the security guard that left Prince Cave. Now I ain't the one to point fingers, but I just think that it's very, very suspicious how he fled the country and they didn't get a chance to fully investigate him. Like to me, that just doesn't make any sense at all. And I'm not gonna try to make no sense out of it, man. As far as her friends, you know, it definitely seems like they may know a little bit more. One thing I do want to add is when you seen her coming from that little hallway where it looked like she disappeared off the camera. If you ever paid attention to the statements that was in the actual lawsuit, that's where her friends sat her down. You know, where it looked like they was picking around the corner. They sat her down over there by the elevator. It says it in the lawsuit. That's where she was sitting at. You know, the area that you seen them running back and forth, and Monifa didn't have her shoes on. That's the area right there, that corner where they sat her down at. But you know, like I said, J4K, man, y'all go ahead, subscribe, man, hit that notification. And in the comments, let me know what y'all think, man. How do y'all feel about this? Was it foul play?